Today, SUCCEED Equine is in conversation with Richard Hughes from Weathercock Racing.
Hi, Sandra.
Richard, it's delighted to be here. Thank you very much. Obviously, as family, I'm here for Christmas, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to just get Richard's insight on what a wonderful year he's had and the importance SUCCEED plays in your role as a business. So first of all, I have to say what a wonderful year. You ended the year on 65 winners. And I suppose not everybody really knows, Richard, but you only had 70 to 75 horses. So that's a remarkable strike rate with 22-year-old winners.
Yeah, 22-year-old winners. We had a great year. We feel like we placed them in the right company.
Yeah.
We kind of know what we have before they go to the races, which is very important. And we find it very important that every horse in the yard wins.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a rated 60 or 95. It's very important for the owner to win a league.
And that's what we always say. I mean, not every horse is going to be a superstar.
No, and it's the same as any other sport. You have your Rory McIlroy and your Shepherds top the leaderboard most weeks.
Yeah.
And then the odd time you get a guy winning, but it's very competitive. And at this day and age, if you're spending 50 grand for a horse, if he's rated 75 to 80, I think you feel you've done your job.
Yeah. And I suppose your job as a trainer is to make sure that each horse reaches its potential, whatever that potential is.
Whatever it be. And our good filly last year, No Half Measures, she was rated 75.
Yeah.
So you never know where they can take you.
Yeah. They can develop and progress as if they're given enough time.
If you told me when she was 3 that she was going to be rated over 100 and win a Group 1 winner, I'd have said you're mad.
Yeah.
But she just improved it more than we ever thought she could.
Yeah. And was there a reason for that? Is that just you gave her the time to develop? You didn't rush her, or
I won't think
she'll just love her?
Just she just kept getting better and better. I think the fillies can go to that level more so than a colt.
Yeah.
When they start to improve it.
Okay, and I know from our work earlier on, she was on SUCCEED, and do you think SUCCEED, helped her development? And
Definitely, she was very immature. She never got to run it too.
Yeah.
She was very immature and wouldn't have been the best scrubber early on.
Yeah.
And by the time she was in her full work as a trainer, she dropped down, had a great middle, and a trainer.
Yeah, and of course, it's very important. They are what they eat.
Yeah. The most frustrating thing for any trainer is watching them eat their heads off and looking light.
Yeah.
Because you wonder where it's going.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a lack of that's it's nothing you're doing wrong. They're eating their head off. You're using a really, really good feed. And that's just nutrient absorption. They're not actually absorbing what they should be from your feed. So that's what we always say at SUCCEED, that actually by using SUCCEED, you're getting more for your money from the feed you're feeding. And we all know how much feed costs. But if they're not actually absorbing everything from the feed, you might as well be feeding them the plain bag feed.
Yeah, exactly. And feed is, we're on Red Mills at the moment. Good product. We're very happy. We don't use much additives. But when we do step in and help them with SUCCEED, it's mainly because they're either eating plenty and they look light.
Yeah.
Or they're not eating and you've hit a crossroad then.
Yeah.
But there's other products out there. Gastrogard, but that's only like filling in a pothole. I don't think it really gets to this.
Well, Gastrogard is a marvellous product, but it's actually masking. You're not fixing you're not getting to the root problem of why is this horse not eating. And actually, you can go way back to when that horse was a foal and it didn't get, the immune system from its mother.
Yeah.
And they're on the back foot all the time. And it may, be fine as a foal, it won't get sick. You might go through weaning time and the foal is fine. You might prep for the sale and the foal is fine. But you put that foal into training and you start pressing buttons and all of a sudden all the weeds fall off.
Yeah.
And that's
you have to not forget, we're dealing in life, so they should be able to feed graze. That's what they're meant to be. But unfortunately, we have them cooped up in the stable. They're saying that they don't mind too much because when we left them out in the afternoons, an hour is plenty and they want to come in again.
Yeah.
So they're creatures of habit, but they should be grazing all day.
Yeah. And the digestive system has never evolved like other domestic animals. Their digestive system was designed for them to be grazing 24/7. So by moving their lips and picking leaves and, they're producing saliva, which is the natural buffer for the acid in the stomach.
Yeah.
If you bring them into the stable with the best wither in the world, they're never going to be eating all day long.
Much you'd like to. We try and make sure that hay all day, but
yeah.
At the end of the day, they'll eat when they want to eat.
Well, that is true, but just looking at the way you train, it actually, and being here for the last 2 weeks has been wonderful to be out in the gallows with you every morning and seeing the way your staff works as a team. And of course, we hear problems every day of the week with staff recruitment and retention. And have you find it a problem, or your staff look really happy? They want this team?
It's very hard. The guys underneath me, Dan, Anita and Brad, my senior staff, and Kieran, travelling head lad, those guys are really hard to get.
Yeah.
And then your grooms are even harder to get.
Yeah.
Really good people will stay in good jobs. I'm only training for the last 10 years. So the good lads in Gosden and Balding and Hannons, they all stay there.
Yeah.
They don't move around.
Yeah.
So what you have is, you have a lot of guys that float from yard to yard.
Yeah.
And they're a waste of space. And I nearly had my head done in by them. You get a few good people, but we found out recruiting from India using Migrate UK.
Yeah.
The guys come over and they want to work. They want to do extra work. They want to do overtime. They get on. There's no such thing as being sick every second day. And I can run it nice. And that creates a great environment when there's people not missing every day.
Yeah.
And a couple of guys, the same guys, keep going missing, and it creates a bad taste in the yard. So we're very lucky to have the Indians, and really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen you in action. Like the way I was brought up, we were brought up with Dad, out mucking out and giving the lads a hand. And I can see you, Dad. Although you're the boss and you're the head of the ship, but you're not afraid to work. If someone needs mucking out, you'll do. And if someone needs teaching how to do it right, you're there. So it's coming from the very top, and they're learning from the best. And I think that creates a very much a team.
You can't ask anyone to do something you can't do.
Yeah.
So you got to prove them. Show them that you're willing to get stuck in and get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
Instead of being riding out the rough one or mucking out a filly, or just get stuck in and do it.
Yeah.
I think that does have a written effect in the air.
Yeah. And looking at your statistics each year, as you said, you're only training 10 years, which isn't a very long time. And I remember when I started training first, and you rang me and said, he'll be fine, it's not rocket science. But I think now you realise that it's not just about the horses, it's about running a business. And it's probably one of the hardest jobs in the world, because it's 24/7, isn't it?
Yeah,
pressure.
Horses are the easy bit.
Yeah.
It's the staff and the business.
Yeah.
I have good people around me running my business, Becky for me and Ollie in the office. So I try and get people to do roles in my yard where I can concentrate on the nice bit.
Yeah.
Training my horses.
Yeah.
And they look after the business side of it. If I'm successful in the yard, the business will flow better.
Yeah.
That's the way I look.
And looking at out there at the moment now, and you're expanding all the time. You've built a beautiful new barn, and it looks like you're going to be nearly 100 horses next year, and it's a real credit, and it's lovely to see you progressing, on the upward curve rather than the downward curve.
It was very frustrating the first few years that I couldn't get a good horse.
Yeah,
and I was lucky that I believed it. I believed I was doing the right thing. It just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right? So I kept doing the same things, and eventually it did happen.
Yeah.
But I didn't change. I was quite stubborn that way, that we were doing it right.
Yeah.
And we finally got a few good ones, but much appreciated now.
Yeah.
Maybe if I jumped in early and got a good horse, I might have taken it for granted.
Yeah.
I was very lucky as a jockey from day one. I'd riding good horses.
And just sort of later on this video, we'll just go out and have a look at the yard. But I think, our viewers will be really impressed just at the way it's structured, and, it really is a credit to you. And it does remind me of walking around Osborne Lodge when my father was training. You have a system, and it's very similar to his system. So you definitely learn from the best.
Yeah, but I said to you, is that rocket science, things have to be clean.
Yeah.
Do it right. Don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Work as a team. And it should flow pretty good then after that. But I don't like shouting and bawling. I like a nice karma in the yard.
Yeah, yeah.
People know what they have to do.
Yeah. And I think I found it very interesting just what you said about every horse reaches its full potential. And that's always our ethos in SUCCEED, that SUCCEED is not going to make a slow horse a really fast horse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that slow horse will be able to run as fast as it can for you. And that's it. You just need to get the best out of each horse. And the more success you have, that attracts more newer owners, bigger price yearlings, I suppose.
Yes. We all want the group ones and the group horses, but unfortunately they're very rare. And I think if you look at the percentages from the time they're born, how many horses actually get to a grade 1 level, it's frightening.
Yeah.
But enjoying the journey, enjoying being an owner, coming to the yard, watching your horse to be rated 60 or 90.
Yeah.
And having your day out in the sun and the wind. Like, there's no better feeling in the world.
Yeah, and listen, I've been here now for 2 weeks, and I've seen owners come into the kitchen and Lizzie cooking the breakfast, and it's a real family atmosphere. And for owners to be able to come and go out and see their horses up close, go out in the Jeep with you in the gallops, learn what it's like to see their horse in the morning rather than just go to the races. And that's very important. You provide that service here. I see your lovely log cabin over there where owners can come and stay the night, and that's a wonderful facility. Not everybody has that.
Yeah, we're in a great spot here in Lambourne, right at the edge.
Yeah.
We're very lucky. It's a very good economical yard, and we have our log cabin for the owner.
Yeah.
But as I say, most horses every day lose. They don't win.
Yeah.
So part of the journey is coming down and watching them, and they'll watch their horse gallop, or maybe the horse beside it was going better. So they're picking up the paper the next day to see when I'm going to run that other horse, and they might be having to.
It gives them a bit of a reality check, isn't it? Reality check. It's always a lot.
Yeah, but I'd often find when we had a good winner, my owners ring each other to say, well done.
Yeah.
So we're all part of the team, and if anyone has a winner, it's good for everyone.
And you do have some lovely owners. And I just see in the last couple of years, you are attracting those owner breeders now, those bigger names. Like, I don't mean the nobodies, but the people who aren't owner breeders that buy the horses that you sell them. They're so important, but it is important to get those owner breeders in as well.
So you get one sent to you.
Yeah.
And a lot easier. And you're interested in there because they rear them and they don't want to put them with a trainer they can trust. And
yeah.
That's the ultimate goal, is to have owner breeders in your yard.
Yeah.
They're all very well going to the same buying a horse for 100 grand on spec.
Yeah.
You have to convince the client that I really like this horse. The hardest thing in the world is sell him 6 months later that you don't think he's any good.
Yeah. But then honesty is very important. And
it is, yeah. And that's what it is. I try my best to buy the good one. I'll buy good ones and I'll buy rubbish as well, just like everyone else.
Yeah.
But let them know when they're not good is the key.
But I've seen you in action at the sales. And I mean, nothing goes missed. I mean, the work you do is absolutely incredible. You and Ted Durkin. And you're probably one of the few trainers that I see out there that actually goes themselves. You don't have many orders going to the sales. But how many yearlings did you buy this year?
Maybe about 40, but I think when you're buying them on spec, there's a good chance I'm going to end up owning it.
Yeah.
Like I've a leg in about 4 or 5 out there.
But I think it gives you a vested interest that you're only really buying the real ones you want to train. And I think that's very important. And it's definitely a sort of a little,
Yeah, the freedom I have at the sales was very refreshing. Yeah. I don't know anyone anything.
Yeah.
If I want to go buy that or I'll buy it. I don't have to be going up to that place to try and buy it yearly.
Yeah.
To keep someone happy.
Yeah.
I have free reign to buy what I want, bid to whatever I want. If I feel he's worth 50 grand, I can stop at 50 and walk away and buy the next one I like. And
I know we've spoken before about the importance of when your yearlings come from the sales. And it's obviously a new start in their career. It's a new environment. They may not look stressed, but their digestive system is under incredible stress. And you have said that SUCCEED really helps them settle in and actually prepare them for their journey ahead in their career.
Yeah, another thing. It's so important because fierce stress to put upon when they go to the sales ring.
Yeah.
And then they're got to a breaking yard, more stress.
Yeah.
And then they come into me, another new environment, more stress when there's bugs out.
Yes.
Flying around the place. So it's very important you get them off from the right start. A different time, everyone uses different feed.
Yeah.
So I have a fair idea what my pre-trainers use.
Yeah.
And we try to introduce them into our feed, and you spot it straight away when they start to struggle. And then they need a bit of help to SUCCEED.
Yeah. Well, Richard, it's been wonderful to talk to you. And we are very proud in SUCCEED to support your yard. And we're following you very closely, and the very, very best of luck for 2026.
Thank you very much.